Hello, I'm Louise Ross, and this is the 8th of 10 excerpts that I'll be reading from my rom-com novel, Breakfast at Tildy's, The Misadventures Continue. Nikov and Tildy have opened their breakfast and lunch cafe, which they've called Breakfast at Tildy's. Nikov's extended family is visiting from Europe to celebrate. Tildy's dad, Frank, now a widower, is also visiting Boulder, enjoying some much-needed social time. Nikov, happy in life and in love, has made another proposal to Tildy. Tay-to-tay, at the end of a very long workday. Got your gear, love? Frank has come by the cafe to walk me home. Hang on a minute. Let me say bye-bye to Nicky. I dash back into the kitchen and signal to Nikov that I'm leaving. We grab a hug and a kiss. Tildy, I am very happy. I think your papa do a great thing this morning. Like what? You mean he turned up and proved me a neurotic daughter who imagines the worst? No, I mean he helped my family understand you, and because of this, I think they'd be very happy when we tell them about the engagement. Are you still thinking about your answer? Nikov looks at me as though the answer is on the tip of my tongue. I'm still thinking. Tildy, I want that you talk with your papa about us. This might help you with your thinking. I can do that, I say sincerely. The phone in the kitchen rings. Nikov steps away to answer it. Is your sister calling from Melbourne? He says. I take the phone from him. Sarah? Yep, it's me, she says. Guess what? I say. Dad turned up. Everything's okay. Silence. Sarah, are you there? I hear my sister clear her throat. Do you have any idea what you put me through? I barely slept last night, and then this morning Phil and I were late to work because we went back and forth over breakfast trying to figure out what to do in the effort to relieve you from the stress of keeping a watchful eye on Dad. God, I'm sorry, Sarah. Really I am. I'm sure you are, she says with contempt. Look, for what it's worth, here's what we came up with. Phil and I thought you could use those miles I gave you to buy Dad a ticket to Hong Kong. The Wongs are there now on a buying trip. I called them about an hour ago and they said they'd be delighted to have Dad as their guest. And then I need to be in Shanghai and then Guangzhou on behalf of some clients. So Phil and I agreed that I'd push up my trip and leave sooner rather than later. We also decided the best thing would be for me to rendezvous with Dad in Guangzhou and escort him home. Wow! Okay, well I'll pass that on to Dad. Good. Just let me know what he thinks about this idea since I'll need to inform the Wongs. We finish the call and hang up on a conciliatory note. Nikov has wandered out to the front of the cafe to chat with Frank. I head out front too. Ah, here she is, says Nicky. Papa Frank. As I was saying, Tildy has something important to discuss with you. Something I hope... Okay, Nicky, I say, cutting him off with a smooch on the mouth. Dad and I'll talk. I take Frank's arm and we head out into the late afternoon. What do we need to talk about, love? God, Dad, where to start? This has been quite the day, wouldn't you say? I mean, between me thinking the worst about your absence last night, and then the mini-United Nations meeting with Nikov's family at the brekkie table this morning, I'm about ready to cark it, I say. Well, I am sorry that you didn't get my message, love. I'm sure my empty bed this morning started you off on the wrong foot. Not kidding. You know, I even called Sarah to tell her you were missing and I thought you'd gone out on the town gallivanting. I neglect to tell Frank the rest of what I thought. That imagination of yours is going to get you in trouble. So, what did Sarah the lawyer say, love? She said, in order to get you out of trouble, we should put you on a slow boat to China. Oh, really? Says Frank, perking up. And did she offer to shout the boat fare? Sort of. She said I should use the miles she gave me for looking after baby and get you a ticket to visit the Wongs while they're in Hong Kong. But I thought after Mum died she gave you an upgrade to business class for your trip back to Boulder. No, just miles, which I decided to save and add to the miles I already have. I was going to suggest to Nikov that we visit his family in Europe later this year, but that was before I knew they were coming out here. Frank chews on this information. Interesting idea of Sarah's. And just where do you think you're going with that? I say. You're flying home to Melbourne in a week's time. Love, For the first time since your mum died, I'm not feeling sad every day. Instead, I feel like I'm learning to live again. Coming over here, doing the bus tour, visiting you and being a part of your life, meeting the people in your world, it's opening me up, and I'd like that to continue. I don't think I'm ready to go back to Australia and settle down to a life on my own. Not yet, anyway. The thing is, I'm not sure what I want, and another adventure might help me get clear. Cripes, I say, do I know how that feels?